I want to thank the chairman and the ranking member for the hearing today. While I disagree with the posture of the hearing, these are issues that are actually imperative to our financial sector and really are a business imperative. They're an imperative because it is customer-driven. It's around new products that my colleagues are so quick to deride. They only exist because there's a market for them. And I just find it completely interesting that somehow the market can't lead in this particular area. Why would we deny wide swaths of investors the information they care about when they are making investment decisions, especially when this is information that already exists in many instances? We're spending our time obsessing over manufactured culture wars instead of doing the work of the American people who sent us here. Our focus should be on the actual issues that our country faces, such as expanding access to capital for small businesses, bolstering financial literacy efforts to build a more inclusive financial sector, or addressing the ever-skyrocketing cost of housing. Because I know that these issues like housing are the problems that my constituents grapple with around the dinner table, not over dictating how investors decide how to manage their money. Actually, I'm glad that we have an opportunity to discuss just how detrimental it could be if we blind ourselves to the very real risks associated with a company's mismanagement of social, environmental, or corporate governance factors. I'm really baffled that I have to say this, but I believe that our nation's investors and other financial services professionals know best how to manage their risk. They are in the business of managing risk in all of its forms, and any risk that these professionals deem to be material should be included within the decision-making process. Without considering a company's exposure to climate change or the ongoing implementation of a meaningful diversity and inclusion strategy, shareholders and investors will bear the cost for any potential catastrophes. These are costs that managers must be able to price into their investment strategies, but the only way that that is possible is through our work here to promote principle-based disclosures. These investors at least deserve to have access to complete information before making their own decisions on where they want to invest their money. Attorney General Ellison, it's great to see you. Thank you.
Likewise, thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to be here. I hope that you can help me understand where this supposed ESG push is coming from. At the federal level or in your home state, have you seen these feared mandates, or that the government's focus is truly on costly, non-material issues at the expense of the U.S. public markets? Is that something that you're seeing?
No, it's coming from pension beneficiaries. It's coming from members of our community. It's coming from a diverse group of Minnesotans who want the Minnesota SBI to think about governance, to think about social factors in certain considerations, and also to think about the environmental impacts. I mean, as I noted before, it's a real example that one of the companies that the SBI was invested in actually owned a plant where 14-year-olds were being used to clean a kill room floor in a meatpacking plant. Now, it might be cheaper and add to the bottom line to use 14-year-olds to clean your kill room floor in your meatpacking plant, but it's not legal, and it certainly is exploitive. So investors want to know that kind of information. They think that is important, and people will come to our SBI meetings and demand that we do something about it. So, I mean, it's not like we're looking for these things. We just think it would be important for a company to say, okay, we are looking at child labor. We're looking at human, trafficking. We're looking at governance. Thank you.
Well, and the last issue that I won't have time to speak about is diversity, equity, inclusion. And I'll just close my comment on this issue to say diversity is a strength for these companies. It is good business for investors to know these strengths, and even more importantly, a company's weakness prior to investing. With that, I yield back.
Gentlemen,